I said I'm just doing a hangout. I send these out every Thursday, so in 2 weeks I'll send this one out and give a synopsis so they can actually
Very nice.
send it out to my list. Build relationships. Yeah, just building a relationship back on my list, providing value. You know all that good stuff we're supposed to be doing.
It's kind of been like a learning curve. I've been building apps with a couple of developers, and the first app I started actually was this time last month. So before I even started the first app, I wanted to get back into programming. That was kind of my first love. So it took kind of like what I did before, pretty much self-taught, read a lot of books, went on Udemy, learned how to use the programming language called Objective-C, which is what they use. Which is what they use to build iOS apps. So I started the first app, got into some issues with bugs and stuff like that, and then it got really crazy. But the whole process was just, it's kind of like trying to figure out a puzzle when you're programming. So it's just a lot of bugs. You got to figure out what the errors are and go back to it. So, but eventually I had to get a developer to help me with it. So he helped me build the first one. It cost me for that. And then I figured out a way over time as I started building more apps and working with developers. I figured out a way to get the developers cheaper and not go through this. So, what was your first app? It was a medical dictionary.
Mm-hmm. Is it on Android?
No, it's not Android. I'm actually learning Android this month, so I'll probably put an Android app.
All right, let me know. Let me know.
So everything's iOS
Right now, everything's iOS. These right now are currently the apps that I have in the App Store.
You know, Android. Support you.
It's 15 apps. This is Performer right here. It's an emoji app. I don't know why, but kids love the smiley face thing. But this one, you can kind of build your own smiley face. You can make like a Rick Ross emoji. You can,
Kids love that.
It's crazy. It's crazy. That's why you can go kind of crazy with it.
What's Photoshop?
Photoshop Shop. That's just like a photo editor. So you take your images, you can cut them up, you can add filters to it, change the dimensions. It's kind of like Photoshop, but it's just in an app.
So when you have 15, and when did you start? A year, or this was before?
This was a year.
This is a year's worth of work right
So
here?
this is all been a year's worth of work right now. But now I found a process to scale. I found a process to scale. So this is going to be 4x this by next summer.
Oh wow.
Yeah, next summer.
Yeah, only a few are free. Or all?
Yeah, they're all, well, there's a couple that are paid and majority of them are free. So right now, total I have 50K downloads. All apps combined, it's making about 500, just a little over 500 a month. And then I got my portfolio assessed, and they told me it's 42,000. But I spoke to.
That's if you're selling them, right?
Yeah, that's if you're going to sell it. Like if you're selling, this is just an assessed value based on how much income they're generating, how many downloads, how many reviews. But he said I'll probably get a little bit more than half of that. Right. Yeah, so
you earning money off of not just the one that's on it.
right now, I'm making money from ads and in-app purchases.
I mean, I never do ads on my apps. What do people do?
Unless you're getting paid, unless you're buying paid apps, then you won't see any ads. But the free apps, usually they monetize it with ads.
So all of your apps are free.
Most of them are free. I have some paid apps. I have maybe about 3 or 4 paid apps.
So you make money. You make money primarily from the.
I can make money from the paid apps, the ads, the in-app purchases.
How do the paid apps versus free apps? How do they download?
The paid apps usually are going to be less than the free apps.
Are you gonna get into that in your presentation?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, not really. I'm fine with the question. Yeah. So, just some interesting facts. Like you probably all know, 89% of people spend majority of their time in apps. Number of monthly downloads from the App Store was 75 billion. That's just Apple's App Store.
Monthly?
Monthly.
That's not counting Google Play.
That's not counting Google Play, and there's other app stores outside of Google Play. You got Samsung, you got app stores in different countries. So it's that's impressive. And then worldwide mobile app revenue is about 34 billion. Growing.
So we get in here.
It's good. So I think those were kind of impressive numbers when I saw that. So if you're gonna build an app, which platform should you build on? So you got four platforms. I say build on all four. But the thing is that
Sorry.
most of the money is made on iOS apps, even though Android has surpassed iOS as far as users. And the reason for that is iOS users are pretty much ready to buy. If you notice, most it's not that if you look, like Apple users, they have an iPhone, they have an iPad, they have MacBook Pro, which they have all three. And the way Apple's payment system works, all you gotta do is just, your credit card's already in there. It's kind of like Amazon. Right. It's kind of like a one-click buy.
Yeah.
And Android's is very fragmented. So it's.
I still have that as payment system.
Amazon probably has that too. One click buy.
Yeah, I haven't done that. And if you build for Android, you can build for Amazon because they use the same. The only thing is that Windows is interesting because I think they have good devices. They just don't have that many apps. They don't have that many developers building apps.
Are they even relevant?
They are. No, they're not relevant in comparison to iOS and Android. So, but I would build for all four. But if you're just starting out, I would start off with iOS. So most of this presentation we're just going to talk about iOS. So you can see in the Google Play Store they have just over 1,300,000 apps, and Apple's about 1,000,000. Windows 300. Anybody still use BlackBerry?
I got a free one and couldn't give it away.
You couldn't give the BlackBerry apps away. So you couldn't give BlackBerry phones away. Some people still use them though.
It's a new one.
But they lost. I think they lost their chance because they had market share. But they just couldn't. I don't know who in management just couldn't get with the time. What was going on? So the most popular app categories in the App Store are games, education, and that's kind of where I'm going to focus on. I'm going to focus on kids games, kids education, dating.
Yeah, lifestyle.
Dating, yeah, dating would be lifestyle.
Tinder should have its own bar.
Yeah. Tinder is like top 15, top 10 apps.
Tinder?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's big.
Why you not on it?
Tinder's big. So games are kind of what's really popular in the App Store. And pretty much everything else. So how do you research a good app idea? So you want to research trends. So like for instance, you have the FIFA World Cup. When you know when a trend is coming, you want to plan ahead of time and build for
And it's good
that
to know.
trend.
It's good to know who's going to win for what country.
That really helps.
Is there a Floyd Mayweather app?
They have an Ebola app. They have Ebola apps right now.
That makes sense.
They have Ebola apps.
They have stored in the JV Zoom. There's a Ebola survival tips. Wow, really?
Yeah, they have Ebola apps. So what I've noticed, because I look in the App Store every day. Every morning I get up, I look at top 50 and just to see what's trending, what's hot. Like when football season started, there's a whole bunch of football apps, fantasy football, stats, figures, and all types of apps like that. Certain movies, like the Disney movies, when Disney movies come out, you start seeing apps for the Disney movies. So if you can kind of project or look, I mean, there's sites you can look and see what trends are coming, and you can take advantage of that and capitalize on it. Google Trends, you can look and kind of see what's popular. Seasonal trends like Halloween, like I have 2 Halloween apps that are I'm working on right now. Should be trying to get those out by this week.
How long does it take you to roll it out?
From start to finish, it depends on the app. I'm gonna get into how long it takes. Niches is probably where that's probably not getting the most attention that should get a lot of attention as far as building an app. So if you can find a problem and create a solution around that problem, then that would probably be a good app. So if you could target a niche, I don't know, dog training, I don't know, and find a problem within dog training that would be useful, you can create an app around that. And then you can find influencers in the dog training niche and tell them that you have an app for dog training, and have your app go viral within the dog training community.
I got a question. So,
Yes.
so when you created one of your apps, for example, let's say you say, okay, Ebola is hot right now, and you create that Ebola app. Someone specifically has to go look for an app for Ebola? Like,
No, they're gonna search it.
Yeah,
Because it's a trend. It's kind of like,
so
if you think about it like Twitter, like with Twitter trends, when
so they have to specifically type in Ebola and look for an app for it?
well, when you're creating your app and when you're uploading it, there's a thing in the app store that allows you to put keywords. Right.
So they have to be searching for it.
Exactly.
Similar
Most
to
people
Ebola.
will be searching.
So there's no way to like just put your app in and they see it without them searching for it.
They have to search. Well, with Apple gives you maybe about 72 hours of fame.
72? Okay. So they
About
don't put
72
you
hours
up.
of fame. So what they do is they'll put you in the new app categories for new apps, and that's where you get the most exposure. And then from there, if it takes off, then
Okay, then you get the more popular trend.
right. But if it's
So
not,
that 72 hours is real important then.
72 hours is very important when you first release your app. Very, very important. So building an app from scratch versus improving upon an existing app. So if you're building an app from scratch, it's costly. It can cost anywhere from $100 to 10 grand, 20 grand. It can take months to develop. You can't expect to get your ROI if the app doesn't do well. It's more riskier to build from scratch. If you get an existing app, it's cheaper. You can change the features, improve upon it, and help it. It won't cost you nearly as much as building a new one.
So basically that's similar to looking for a template close like a WordPress thing
Exactly.
and throw it in there and then modify it, roll it out. Okay.
I'm gonna show you.
I got it.
Some of them for that. So how do I acquire existing apps? So this is what I've done. Instead of trying to build something from scratch, I said, okay, well, why don't I do like the kind of like the Flipper model, like find an app that's probably underperforming or that's not doing well. Ask the developer, hey, can I take this off your hands? It doesn't seem like it's doing well. And the developer, if he agrees, we agree to a price, he'll give it to me, and then I can make changes to it. And if not, say, screw yourself, leave me alone. Yeah, because it's their app, and they're really, some of them are pretty much have emotional connections with it. So I'll contact other developers. I'll go into the app developer forums. I'll go to third-party sites, like kind of like buy and sell websites like Flipper, and I can buy existing apps there. They call it source code. The source code is kind of like the bones, like the blueprint of the app. But then on top of that, that source code is just your framing, and then you can just add. It's kind of like a house. Think of it like a house. You just have the studs, and then you add the graphics and all the other stuff too as well. Exactly.
So what you're saying is that you can actually go to a website, buy an app, put it in Xcode, open it up, and modify it, and then put it back out?
Exactly. Okay. That's what I could do it.
Oh, yeah. The team on there.
So say now you go to these actually let me show you. So say you go to one of these third-party sites to buy the source code. So what do you do with it? All right, you have no coding experience, you just bought this app. So now you want to create a theme for that. So a theme would be like what we were talking about with the trends. So you found something like a game, say like a soccer game. But say like if they have Brazil jerseys, say you want to make it for Germany. So you theme it for Germany. So you're taking the existing contents of the app that you bought and you're changing it with your contents. So you're changing the graphics, you're changing the user interface, And anything that you see that will improve the user experience, you can add that to that.
Is it easy to see? So you kind of to see if you get type of layout or is it really technical?
What do you mean? Explain.
No, I think it's the average to that.
Yeah, right. So is it like in the back end? Is it like, okay, I see this? Is it like a plug and play? I can see it.
It's half and half. Like if you open it up in like Xcode, you'll see the code, and then when you run it, you can see it in the simulator and see how the app.
So to continue on the question, so therefore you gotta know some code in order to get the niceness. So,
Functionality.
yeah, so you can't say, oh,
It's not like a WYSIWYG editor where you.
No.
Like,
Well,
code.
no. Yeah, it's not like a WYSIWYG editor. But even with a WYSIWYG editor, you still need to know a little bit of HTML.
You don't have
Because
to.
it's not.
I mean, it's advantageous.
Well, if you're gonna add features, buttons, clicking, and stuff like
Right.
that, you still have to do that. You still have to know a little bit of it. So
leave me alone.
But you got a developer just to keep that part.
yeah. I mean, you can still download. Get the code, put it in Xcode, look how it functions, and then tell the developer, okay, this is what I want to do. These are the changes that I want to make. So you bought an app, so now you want to create a theme. So you want to change the theme up, change the graphics, the user experience, and then you have to figure out your monetizing strategy. So are you going to use ads? Are you going to use affiliate links in your app? Are you going to use email, opt-in forms? So there's many ways you can monetize the app. So you have to figure out the types of users that are going to download this app, and then apply the appropriate monetizing strategy. So you want to have all this before you go to your developer. So this all has to be planned out, because if you go to the developer, they're going to charge you X amount of money because you don't have a plan in place, and they're just going to screw you up.
Quick question. Let's say you build an app and you put an advertiser or sponsor in there or anything, and you want to change it because you're rolling out an update, right? When you do that, what's involved with rolling out a patch or update to your app or improvement? What do you have to do?
If you want to update it?
Yeah, you want to update because you say, oh no, the developer did this. What do? You got to resubmit the whole thing again?
Yeah,
or
you have to resubmit a new build.
Oh, okay. And that takes as long as the first
It
build?
won't take as long to approve it. Apple won't take as long to approve the update.
Oh.
But you would have to go to the developer, either the developer that you use, or you give it to another developer and tell them what changes you want based on the user feedback.
Interesting stuff here. Very easy way to do this thing.
So this is an app source code that I bought. This is Bejeweled.
Well, you bought a source code for Bejeweled? Yeah.
What source code? I mean, this is like Candy Crush right here. Everyone kind of uses that. So as you can see,
Bejeweled was the bomb. Bejeweled was before Candy Crush.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's where Candy Crush got their idea from.
That is racist. Go ahead.
Oh, and you made this one?
Yeah, so I made the one on the left, the right, sorry.
The Cupcake Crush.
Cupcake, yeah. Cupcake Factory Blitz is what I called it. But you can see I changed the background. I put cupcakes instead of jewels.
Did you design all those cupcakes?
Yeah, I have my graphic designer.
Oh.
Another thing too is most developers are not good graphics people. They'll give you crappy graphics. So you probably have to outsource your graphics also. So then we kept the same banner ad, and then I put interstitial. I had the developer put interstitial ads. So when you open up the app, ads pop up. So they either click on it to download a new game or they X out of it. And then there's another feature on the menu where they can download more games.
So the app provider is basically specific to those type of apps. The app provider is you link to that, where you just put any Google or any advertiser app.
You could, like, if you wanted to, you can put your own banner here. Like, you don't have to use, like, there's ad agencies that you can use.
So the ad agencies have a particular category for mobile.
Yeah.
Ads, okay.
Yeah, think of it like AdSense, like display ads.
Right.
So, but it's different companies, and then they have companies that serve, like they're like a third party. So you're a publisher, and then they deal with the advertisers, and they help the advertisers publish on your.
So basically, you're going to an agency, and then they send you a check every month or a payment.
Exactly.
Somehow automated, right? Can you get it right away, a notification that when you click on it?
Well, I go in, sometimes I'll just go in.
Oh, okay, like
Every
stats.
30 days, yeah, every 30 days they send you. This one is AdMob, which is so this is kind of like how you would retheme an app. So you take one existing one that you found from a third-party site, get the source code, and then redeem it for something different.
So in this
You can
scenario,
redeem this.
So in this scenario, you did no coding. The backend is the same.
No, I do coding at this
Oh, you
point.
have to code differently.
I had the source code, but I used to change the
Now that
graphics.
you have to change it.
The coding, I didn't do nothing.
That's
to
what I
the
was
code.
asking. Okay,
Exactly.
so you just
So that's the beauty. That's why you don't really need to know.
Oh, okay.
All you really just need to do is change the graphics. You can do puppies.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, dog.
You can
You can do you know what you should do? You should do college mascot logos. Yeah.
you can, but Apple
Trade right.
yeah,
Oh,
whatever.
Wow.
Some people
Trade right first.
Trade right.
trademark.
Trade right exists. You know, now.
But yeah, I mean, all you have to do is just think of a theme that's popular in the App Store. So food, for some reason, is popular. Candy.
You mean like
Penguins.
putting Ebola viruses on there or something?
Someone has an Ebola virus
Yeah.
game actually. I don't know. If
That
they have
is
it,
awesome.
I don't know if they have it like Bejeweled, but I mean, they have it.
You should do that.
Human secretions in one column.
So,
He's so silly.
so you have many ways you can monetize. These are probably the most popular in-app purchases, mobile ads, subscriptions, email opt-ins. I'm testing this because a lot of people have gotten good results from email opt-ins.
Really?
And what- how you-
I would argue that, and tell me, feel free to tell me I'm just talking about my own. I would think that would work in very niche specific
Exactly. They're using it in niche specific
apps. Like,
You should
yeah,
create an app.
like adult, like
I would create an app for just being awesome. Like, that fucking be awesome.
Look up like that.
Awesome.
have a Von Geo lap dance locator.
Yeah, like I'll have my own app.
Google pins,
Do you do any pushes on your stuff?
like push notification. Yeah, on one of my apps, and push notification is good because it helps retention. So,
What's it do? I don't think, I don't know.
well, push notification just to alert the user that to come back into the app.
And where does it appear?
Well, it'll pop up on your screen, kind of like a text message. Push notification really just a text message. And so,
I love my apps, but they don't bother me.
well,
You can turn it off.
well, you can turn it off, or because you can go in the settings and turn it off. But
I'm sorry, Sam, what you saying?
I got another question about the advertising part that you talked about. When you go to AdMob, right?
Yeah.
Does Google take 30% of that revenue from the app through there if you're getting money from an app?
I know they charge you by I think earnings per click, and I'm not sure if it's 30% that they're taking out.
So basically, if someone's purchasing or just clicking on an ad, Apple's getting a cut.
No, Apple's not getting it.
Oh, they're not getting any cut from
No,
that.
no.
Oh, okay.
The only cut Apple gets is if you have a paid app, in-app purchases, and if you have a paid app.
Oh,
They take 30 and you keep 7.
that's probably because they couldn't figure a way to do it.
Well, they have something called iAds, which is their version of AdMob, but I don't know, it doesn't perform as well. And the thing with the ads, it took me almost 6 months to figure out which ads work in which apps, because you have a lot of different ad agencies, and a lot of them serve different types of advertisers. So you have to find the right ad agency to go with the right app. Otherwise, you can have ads that are not targeting your user base, and you're not going to get any clicks from everything. So that was a struggle and a hurdle to try to figure out which ad agencies to work with that will target the users that I have. So.
Now, when you say target user, you're not just talking about gamers or non-gamers. You're talking about specific.
Yeah, like say like that, like the cupcake. Girls are downloading that. It's girls between a certain age. So you want to make sure you have ad appropriate, like just tickets. So you want to show them ad appropriate, content versus, casino games or something like that, where they don't have any interest.
Now, let's say you say, oh no, I put the wrong ad in. What do you got to do to change it? You have to go out and new app or you do something else.
Well, you have to go in and then you have to change the ad code.
Right.
Well, you don't have to really code, but you can. If you're gonna change the ad network that you're working with, then you have to get a developer to put in. It's called SDK, software development. So you have to get the software for the ad agency that you want to work with.
And it's
Those can be
free to do an update.
It's not free to do an update if you're working with a developer, but it's
Oh, I
free
mean,
to submit to Apple. Yeah. Apple does charge. Yeah, Apple does charge. Apple only charges you $99 a year for the development license to upload that shit.
How many other ones?
Google charges $25.
And the other two?
Amazon is $30. Here, Windows is free.
No.
Please come use us. They only have 300 apps now.
Wow, that's right.
People complain that there's no apps, and they have good devices.
So basically, why don't you just go on the Windows?
Yeah.
That's why I
Exactly.
was killing it. I be like
Windows-
Candy Crush for Windows.
No, it's Cupcake Crush.
Whatever. I be like Candy Crush and leave off the H. And then
Oh, that.
So how do you outsource and find good app developers? I've gone on Odesk. That's where most of my developers come from. Craigslist. You can go on Craigslist forums. I got one from LinkedIn and Facebook.
How do you find them on LinkedIn?
LinkedIn, you just type in programmers, find local programmers.
Research.
There's Xcode groups. I go in there. I talk with guys.
You got a guy local?
Huh?
No. Oh, okay.
I'm in all those groups. I'm in all those Xcode groups, the mobile app groups.
So
I'm in all those.
your day is not coding. You're just looking for stuff all the time.
I mean, it's I partition the time, but I like to go in here just to troubleshoot ideas, errors, bugs, things like that. So, as far as programmers, I'm not to sound biased or racist or anything, but I found that the best programmers are in Eastern Europe.
It's New York.
Eastern Europe. Yeah, Eastern Europe. New York. Go to Harlem. Eastern Europe, Ukraine, that area, programs are really, really good. They're very sharp. And they just tend to be very solid. They know how to work on a lot of different platforms. Coding is really good. And find them on this. Find them on this. And Pakistan. Pakistan is cool or something? I don't know. Like, I don't know what it is,
Are you
man.
hungry?
I don't know what it is. I guess maybe they're training. I don't know what they have access to, but I just found like Pakistan and Eastern Europe, they just have a really good program out there. I would avoid Philippines. They're pretty more design focused, creative.
They power go out too long.
Internet go down.
Yeah, it's happening. I'm sorry, 2 weeks later, I'm back.
Oh, sorry, I would have emailed you last week, but I had my computer on top shelf.
So what I look for is good communication. This is saying hire slow, fire fast. So like they don't communicate. Like this is when I'm first reaching out to them. If they don't return my message within a certain amount of time, I kind of like just text them out. If I sense some sort of like they don't know what they're talking about, I don't waste my time.
So you got 15 apps. How many different developers you had?
On those, 3.
3?
Okay. And then you want to find out there's different developers. Different developers have a certain type of expertise in certain types of apps. So you have developers that are good with games. You have developers that are good with photo apps. You have developers that are good. So it's kind of like if you have a heart problem, you don't want to get a kidney doctor. So it's the same thing with these developers. So you have to figure out the type of app you have and make sure you have the right type of developer for the app. Otherwise, they're gonna take a long time to get
How
it
do you know?
to develop. You'll see it on their portfolio. So they'll show you their portfolio, and then you just quiz them. You ask them questions. Have you done these types of apps before? Show me some apps you've done.
Out of the 15, what is the cheapest and most expensive app you have?
The cheapest to
The build. Develop.
You guys developing yet?
Yeah, I'm not developing.
You don't develop any of them?
Well, I developed the first one.
But you paid for it.
Yeah. When I got stuck, then I had to get some help because he had to connect the database. I bought a database, it was a drug database, and I had trouble connecting the database and search. When people were searching, I had trouble.
But you said you had 15 apps and 3 developers, so you didn't have to pay. I mean, in terms of development cost, there's no development cost except for that database.
It wasn't any development costs. What they helped me with was more the coding, like the bugs. So when I got the code, some of those codes had bugs in it. So what they did was they helped me with a lot of bugs.
Have you built one from scratch yet?
Just that first one.
Okay, the picture.
Yeah. Just that.
And how long did it take you to do that?
That one took about a month.
Well, how do you get smart? How do you become, with a master teacher? Well, how do you how do you find a shortcut? I did that. You get the whole.
Because I took a couple of courses on Udemy, and then I got the Xcode, and then I just started playing around with it, and then I just struggled with it.
I came real close to doing that.
Yeah.
I bought you remember my Mac? I bought the Mac.
Yeah.
CT and I bought it. I feel like even to do it, but if we do that shortcut, I would have went further. But after I opened it up, I'm like, hell no.
Yeah. It's a learning curve. It's a learning curve, and then I stuck with it. But then there's a lot of forums out there. You got that big one that's out there. I mean, you can find anything on this forum. So I was in there a lot, just troubleshooting, and eventually I was like, I got to figure out the best use of my time. It's not really coding, but I still want to learn lingo. I still want to know all the moving parts. So when I hire the developer, I know what to tell him and he's not going to take advantage. So that's what I'm going to talk about next, because you have shady developers. Segue? Yeah. You do have shady developers. So if you don't know what you're doing and you're kind of flying by the seat of your pants, something that may cost $50 to do, they'll go ahead and charge you $400. And some people got to take it that way.
Now, you say $50.
So that would be like, for instance, to put in an SDK, like an ad SDK. It doesn't take much to do that. It's like takes about 30 minutes. They'll say, oh man, this is going to take me a week and it's going to be $400. Really? Don't even
Yeah.
So you have to.
Just like everybody who tries to get over and they're shady.
Well, it depends. It depends on how you write your descriptions. So if you're not writing your descriptions where it's technical, exactly, then they're going to say, okay, this is how much it's going to cost.
So you have to copy the right person's descriptions.
That or
know it's something.
yeah, just know what it's right.
Still doing all right? I'm sorry?
Yeah.
I'm good with that.
Developers that don't communicate often, like sometimes, kind of like with the VAs, they're in and out. You don't hear from them for 3-4 days. Those are the ones you want to be careful for. Because if you don't hear back from them, sometimes they'll hold your source code hostage, and source code is what you need to kind of upload to Apple. Sometimes they may go past the deadline, so if you give them a clear-cut deadline, they may go and extend beyond the deadline. They don't do that, so you have to. What I like to do is, if I hire a developer, I'll give them a small project first, kind of see how we work together, how we vibe together, and then I'll give them something a little bit more. Then I'll probably give them a little bit bigger project. So you have to kind of establish some trust.
Are your apps phased where it's like a project or it's just like a one time?
Yeah, it's one time, but the way I pay them, or the way I do it is I do it in milestones. So for instance, it's kind of like with if you have someone coming in the house to do renovations. You know, when the first milestone is completed, then you take a look at it, make sure all the bugs are out or whatever it is that they have to do. Once you're satisfied, then you give them the money. Second milestone, the same way. And then, so the third milestone, you wait until all the bugs are gone. The app is running smoothly to your satisfaction. Then you pay them, and then you get the source code back. Then you pay them the final deliverable. So you don't pay the final deliverable until you get the source code and everything, files, everything back.
So is there an instance where you submit it to Apple and it gets kicked back and you have to kick it back to
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes Apple will kick it off. Yeah.
What are reasons that Apple says, Apple are jerks? Like, no, that's no, okay, no, you know what? That's like just a fair answer. That's like Google. It's like Google. Like, why did you why did your YouTube account?
They have very silly reasons for rejecting apps. Like they'll come back and say, oh, you know, if we found this library of code in your app that, you know, just real insignificant stuff. And the people that are reviewing these apps are teenage kids that are reviewing these apps.
So do you have where do you test it prior to submitting it?
I have a
tester.com?
Yeah, that's on Nextdoor. Or what you ask the developer, if you don't have a Mac, say you can tell them to create a video and then have him do like a screen video capture, have it run through all the features of the app and send it to you. But I would advise him, like even like a virtual Mac, you can get like a virtual Mac.
So aside from the dictionary thing you have, or other apps have a backend or code data form?
No, just that. That's just that first one.
Oh, okay. All the rest is standalone.
That's why, yeah. All of us are standalone.
Oh,
but the data is still part of the app. It's not.
right.
It's not external.
Right. You download the data onto the app.
Sometimes the developer may ask for more money, so you know you're ready to agree on a certain price, and they'll come back and say, "Man, you know this is much. You know, I need another $100." Those types of developers don't want to work with because either they got stuck or they're not managing your time right. Let's see, and then sometimes they'll just abandon the project and you don't even see them. And that's the worst, like, case scenario. So, that you So, what I do is I pay development milestones, like I mentioned before. I have them do small projects. Don't pay the last milestone. You receive all completed after each milestone. So, after you get a milestone, you want to like so that in that month check off that is out of the release it. And then just let them know that they have to work out all the bugs. So this was a conversation I had with a developer. This guy is funny. Initially put in a app comes and says software. So initially the cost was $150, right? So he said, okay, well send me the source code and let me get to work on it. Then he comes back and says it's gonna be $350. So I'm like, why are you saying $350? Initially it was $150. And he's telling me, oh man, it has all these bugs. I found all these bugs in it and stuff like that. So there's no bugs in it. I saw it myself. So he's trying to take advantage. And I said, okay, well, I'll give you 170. I'll give you 175. And we're going back and forth, and then eventually he says, as you wish, no problem. I'll do it 175. So sometimes when you find these types of developers, they may try to use things like, oh, it has bugs, and I need to make the price a little bit more. So you just have to be mindful of what you're buying, so that when you're talking to these developers, you kind of stand your ground with how much you're going to pay, how much what the price is for the project.
He would have paid to be confused, but in this case, he's not for, because he was like, it's ignorant, and I know.
Yeah, someone would have paid. Yeah, that full amount.
I wouldn't know what to say.
But I thought you said that whatever that acronym you use would have been $50.
Yeah, sometimes it depends. Some SDKs some add maybe more than 30 minutes to implement. Some may be 45 minutes. So it just depends. But it shouldn't be no more than 50.
Is there an hourly rate that they charge? They should be charging for?
They all have very different prices. So,
Did you ever have him do the Android?
he is good actually, huh?
Did you ever have him do the Android?
No, I haven't. He wanted to do the Android.
Yeah,
that's just right. I said that just to make him happy. And
yeah.
Sometimes you have to do that.
Yeah.
Sometimes say, hey, look, I got a couple jobs coming up. I'm gonna give you. I have a lot of work. I'm so busy.
No, that's true.
You have to do that.
Yeah.
And then they're thinking, okay, yeah, I want a good relationship with you. I want
They're
to.
gonna make sure they give you what you need.
Right. But at the end of the day, you already know this person's mindset. And you're not gonna deal with it. All you want is your finished product. And once you're done, you're done. You're done.
So he's no longer working for you.
So now you have your app. It's in the App Store. You get it. You can get the developer also to upload it to Apple if you want. And now you have to go in the process of promoting the app. Before, 2-3 years ago, it wasn't as competitive. So when you put an app in the App Store, people get tons of downloads. Now there's just a flood of apps. You have to do a little bit extra to get some visibility. So Apple has a process called ASO, which is App Store Optimization, which would be the equivalent of SEO for Google.
Huh.
Yeah. So you have to So you have to come up with keywords. They give you 150 characters, just a little 150 characters total. And you have to identify keywords that is similar to your app, or at least your app topic, and make sure that it's relevant so that you can get exposure when people are doing searches. And ASO is just a whole other topic in itself. I can do a whole other.
That'd be a good. I think that'd be a really.
That's like a whole other.
So all we have left up for today.
Get around public.
Are we not ready for checks up here, or separate checks?
Yep.
You're at the house with chicken, house council.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Calzone and wings and.
I'll be right back. All separate checks, right? Cool. Get it back.
Do you wait to collect your final payment after it gets accepted?
What do you mean?
After the app gets accepted in the Apple Store, or do you wait till you get the code and then you give them all? So it has to go back to them.
I wait till I get everything back.
And accept it. What happens if there's bugs?
Yeah, well, Apple.
Well, I don't wait that long, but Apple doesn't improve. But the developers that I had, they knew that if it came back with bugs, that they would change it. So I haven't had any problems with the last team that I hired. So, but yeah, App Store optimization, that's like a whole other presentation. Because Apple has it and Google Play has it. Google Play has it also.
If you could do an ASO, you could do that's a real niche service that you could just provide people gangster prices for.
There's a guy I know. I was in his coaching program I think in May. He charges about $5 to $10 grand for a company.
Why
But
not?
it's not guaranteed though with ASO. Okay. And ASO takes a while.
Is there any type of like ASO?
There's
keyword
tools.
tool?
Yeah, there are tools. I have them. I've been playing with them. And the tools, like they're trying to, basically a lot of these tools are trying to figure out Apple's algorithm. But Apple's algorithm is like a secret sauce. They're not giving away that shit.
Apple doesn't provide the tool. This is just people.
They figured out these tools. What they do is they figure out their own algorithm based on Google. They're actually using Google's keyword planner a lot. Yeah, they're pulling from there. They're pulling from different sources.
Well, it does have mobile.
What's that?
It does have a mobile section. You can select mobile keywords, so that might really pull and trick that.
It could be, but you can't really figure out Apple's algorithm. And a lot of those keyword tools they try to, but the best ASO is Google Trends, the keyword planner. Like it was a waste of money to use a lot of those tools that I found. So, if you're in a niche, email list, you send out to email lists. I'm sure a lot of you probably seen the Facebook mobile ads. This company, King, Candy Crush, they spend upwards of, I think, $1 million or more on ads. I mean, you see the ads everywhere.
Do you use that? Facebook mobile?
No, not really. I should. I have tried it, but I haven't really figured it out yet. I'm still kind of in the learning curve.
So they're spending that million on Facebook mobile ads?
On everything.
Oh, everything.
Yeah, everything.
It's free.
They
right?
make about
It's a free app, right?
what the.
Candy Crush?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's free.
But they have a heavy monetization strategy. They're making, I think they made like 358 million. That was 2 years ago. Yeah, that was 2 years ago. From one app.
And that app ain't even an original idea.
I know. Exactly.
That's the thing that bothered me, because I got these invites, and then I finally saw the damn thing like a year later. I was like, this just like the June or whatever the damn I used to play back in the day. I'm like, what, you just changed it to fucking bits and now? The hell, you made money from this nonsense.
Well, they have a combination of things, but they have a social feature also. So you can do social shares. Like they'll have social invites. Yeah, social invites.
Yeah, I can't get some damn Candy Crush.
It's good social spam too. Yeah, because if you even accidentally click on it, that bitch just loads up. Yep. And like, here you go. Here it is. Like, wait, I don't remember clicking it. No, it's here for you. Look, the game's already started.
And I mean, they have, you see them everywhere. I mean, they're on Twitter, Instagram. I mean, they've used every platform to get exposed to that app.
So,
And they control the top 10.
So
Yeah.
So what basically what you're saying is that the marketing is very, very important. In this
Marketing now is important
now
because it's there's some saturation.
Unless you go over to Windows.
Yeah, go to Windows. Android is good. What's good about Android in the Play Store is that they come up on Google search.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So let me ask you this, so now, why haven't you?
Because it's a learning process. I'm still learning.
I know you're learning, but you got 15.
Yeah, but I mean,
It's a different platform. It's a different code.
yeah, it's a whole different platform.
It's like relearning almost. You understand the theory.
It's
and now you
Java.
gotta relearn.
It's like Joomla and WordPress.
It's Java.
Yeah.
It's all JavaScript.
Oh, okay.
Android.
Like Drupal and WordPress.
Oh, you're saying it's a different coding for Android and for iOS.
Yeah. So.
You know what,
I'm gonna learn a new line dance and everybody.
I don't know about this. I read a little bit about using Visual Studio.
Yeah, it's called Eclipse.
Eclipse, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I downloaded.
Is it like C# or something?
I don't know.
Okay.
No,
Well, so if you're coding on Eclipse, you're actually coding in C.
I think it's Java. No, Java.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
To build the app.
Yeah.
Only for
You
Android.
can do the same thing with iOS with Android. You can buy existing Android apps and
Right.
do the same thing. And you just use Eclipse as the Eclipse tool. Eclipse is like Dreamweaver. I think they're like a Dreamweaver, like a busy big.
What's that code? It starts with a B.
Botox.
I'll let you know.
So YouTube video ads are good. Press releases, again, influencers if you're in a niche, and then app review sites.
Which one have you done?
I've tried them all, but I don't think I've figured out my targeting right. So I've gotten skewed results from it.
You done impressions and everything for all 15 of
No, I haven't done impressions. Impressions, I don't think that will work.
Not for an app.
Yeah, for an app, well, it depends because I think it depends on the type of app you have. I think for a game, it may not be beneficial, but if you have like a niche app, it may work for a niche app. Yeah, for a niche app, it may work because you're focusing on a specific community.
Right.
So, and somebody in that community may pick it up and they blog about it, and they share it with their circles.
Exactly.
So for a niche app, it can probably work, but for games, not so much. So you got your app in the App Store.
Sorry.
Now you want to work on user retention. So you want to track how users are interacting with your app, what are they clicking on, how long they're staying in your app. So there's three that there's two that I've used, but the third one is pretty good. Flurry Analytics is the industry standard. Google Analytics you can put in your app also. And the third one is AppSee. AppSee is like, they have heat maps. So you can see where they're spending their time on your app. You know, if they're clicking on ads. It kind of has like that hot, cold type of graph that you can see. So that's pretty badass. Pretty badass. Huh?
Is AppSee only for apps? Is it for any type of platform other than
You put it in any of your mobile apps.
just apps?
Bootstrap. What is Bootstrap?
What is that?
Bootstrap.
Bootstrap? When you bootstrap money?
No, it's something with mobile.
Did you pull it up?
Maybe it's maybe it's a Android related. Some of the language for Bootstrap. It's got something to do with mobile devices or apps or something.
Mark, you do bootstrap? Are you bootstrapping?
This is Bootstrap.
I know, I understand.
This is Bootstrap.
Alright, so next you want to observe feedback and then make updates if necessary. So, you know, if your app is pretty popular and it gets traction, people start leaving reviews. Hey, this thing sucks, you know, change the user interface. Hey, this is a real cool app. So you get tons of different types of reviews, and then you just want to update based on the feedback. After you get a collection of reviews, and
Is the feedback public and can you edit it?
yeah, it is public. And I've used
stays?
Huh?
Once they put it
Yeah, it
back
stays.
on the app, it stays?
And I've actually used. I'm gonna do.
No. I was just saying, let's say you mess up, if you don't like it, you get all that bad rep, then you gotta go fix it.
Yeah, but then that actually helps downloads though. Because if you go back and say like you get a lot of bad reviews and then you go back, you update the app, and then they see that you made the changes, then they go back and say, hey, this is pretty good, and then it actually builds your user base.
So after they put bad comments, you can go back and put good comments.
No, you can't. Go and update the app.
Oh, that's
And
it.
then good comments will come in.
So you have to watch their comments. You can't just say, okay. Yeah, you have to let somebody else download it and put good comments.
You have to look at their comments, update the app, and then they'll start. Because once you update the app, they'll be updated also.
Oh, I see.
Every time you update, you get a notification saying that to update your app.
I see.
And then when you update, then they say, oh, okay, they changed the
And then they'll go back.
Exactly. So that's good. You want that.
This thing still slow.
And then
I seen that too.
you want to test different monetization strategies. So you want to try different ad agencies. Maybe you want to try opt-in form. You want to kind of mix it up and kind of see what performs best.
Opt-in?
Opt-in form. Like if you have a niche app. Opt-in form.
On the app?
Yeah, you put opt-in form on the app.
Hmm.
Oh yeah.
If you had like a fishing app, people like opt-in to receive free fishing strategies.
I'm telling you, they don't do none of that. These apps, they do my all business stuff.
They should do it, man. Tinder needs to talk to me. That's the thinking of idea.
Think about that dating site.
And they am like, she was like, I put it like, guys, is your Tinder profile not getting the lady?
You actually can get a white label dating app and put your name on it.
Tomorrow.
And there is actually an app like Tinder out there, source code that's like Tinder that's out there. Make it your own.
I would have all the girls just to see me like every 5 swipes.
Every time they swipe,
Like every time they log on to swipe, like I swiped no on him 13 times.
Why
this
everybody
week.
look like the phone?
What? Fine, I'm going to date with you.
after the fifth swipe.
That would be hilarious.
So here's some resources to get started. If you go on Demi, there's tons of courses on the Demi on
Did you get chat?
Did you get Chad?
No, Chad's pretty, you know, his is up there. His App Empire.
Yeah.
I think it's like
2,900.
no, it's more than that. I think it's more than that. But Chad's making about $1 million, a little over $1 million a month, I think, with his apps.
What?
How many apps?
Chad has a lot of apps. I know he has over 1,000. Carter Thomas is good. Yeah, he's doing. But he started a long time ago. He started back in 2010, I think.
Trey
Smith just released the app that was in the top 5, top 10, and it did $1.3 million in a day.
Oh, really?
Which is great.
I know they do this stuff, right? Yeah, I know they do this stuff again.
Carter Thomas, he's really, really good. He has just a little over 500 apps, and he's making about $250,000 a month.
Is there anything else I can get for anyone tonight?
Yeah, gotcha.
All right, well, you all have a wonderful night. Thanks for coming.
Thank you. I'm going to show you guys these sites so you can see what they look like. So think big, scale.
I want that list.
Pretty much what I'm doing is I'm doing the portfolio thing. So I'm just creating a whole big portfolio of apps. And
Are they doing games? Those guys who make all those millions?
they have a little bit of everything. Yeah, they have a little bit of everything.
What do you prefer?
Right now I'm going to focus on children's games. Children's games, health, medical, travel.
I was gonna say, if you get really good at just Digify, you ever do that?
Well, this has been a whole year, so it's now I'm kind of almost drilling down where I want to be and where I want to focus on. Probably real estate is where I'm gonna
Do it pay
do a
you to
lot of
create
apps.
apps for us?
No,
You did before?
Smart, no, that's smart.
I had to learn how to say no.
Yes, good.
It's very
Smart
hard.
man.
It's very hard to say no. I
I
have
got
to learn how to say no.
$20,000 right now.
You didn't look hard to say,
waiting
you
for me to buy
seem very easy right then and there.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, sometimes you get opportunities present itself, but not every opportunity is the right opportunity.
Too bad.
So think big. I mean, apps is just. I mean, this is not. It's not gold rush. Well, it's still in its infancy, if you will, but it goes beyond mobile devices. Like now you got wearable devices like the watches. You see the Fitbits and things like that. You can build apps for that. There's Amazon TV, which they've been.
Roku has some apps.
Who?
Roku? Oh, man. They do the Amazon.
It's like a
Yeah.
TV box.
Oh, okay.
It's like get rid of your cable.
Oh, okay. I never seen that.
Apple TV.
It's like Apple TV.
Chrome.
Okay.
But it,
Oh, Chromecast. Yeah. But isn't that like a projection or something?
no.
They don't
Plug
put
it
it
in smart TV. It makes your TV smart.
I don't know what any of you guys are talking about.
Oh yeah,
like
like on the Samsung TVs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then you have a little device you plug into
Right.
it and it does all that.
Right.
Set my
I know
cable
what you're
up.
talking
That's what I use.
You can make apps for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can make apps for that.
That's for the development.
Apps for appliances,
a toaster?
like refrigerators.
Yeah.
What?
They have
Yeah.
refrigerators and TVs like in showers now.
Yep.
Where
Yeah.
you,
Really?
it's,
Make apps
You
for that.
know, you know.
I know what you said. I have calls.
What? Huh? That's what I don't get it.
Appliances.
Yeah.
You had it.
I would-
On refrigerators, you got a lot of apps on refrigerators now because
Like physically on the refrigerator?
Facebook and all that.
they're connected. They're connected to
I
Wi-Fi.
mean, Facebook,
They have a lot of-
I'm
you know, I got connected cars.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess that's not enough pay grade.
I got connected everything.
Everything's
You
connected.
need to put those in your warehouse, Sean. Put those comes with free app fridge or whatever the hell.
Well, all my things do live better than me.
Huh?
My things do live better than me.
Well,
They live what?
Better than-
theoretically, not
Better than me.
They think they live better than us.
Dang.
They are.
That's another conversation.
Questions? All right, let me show you guys.
Yeah, that's a question. If I have an app that I want to build, can you help me direct me in the right area?
So this is say that again? Sorry.
If I have an app that I need built, I would like to
Yeah, I can.
give you direction.
Or good.
Hey, it's nice.
So this is Apptopia. This is like a marketplace where you can buy and sell your apps. So you can see
This is before they go on to.
these are already in the App Store.
they're already there.
Yeah, these are developers that are selling their apps right now. So say like if you build the app, 4 or 3 months, whatever, the picked up some downloads, made a little money, you can flip it.
So
They get money, they make
basically,
money.
they're giving you the source code. You don't have to resubmit it because it's already in there.
This actually, they're actually transferring the
The
app
name will
to
be
you.
you.
Right.
Right.
But they'll give you the source code, but the app will
Yeah.
still be live in the app.
So you make money as soon as you transfer.
Exactly.
So
And
then
what you do is you tweak it and do an update
If you want to, yeah.
and then relaunch it.
Yeah, you can do
You don't
that.
have to.
You don't have to, you can just let it ride if you want.
you're the whole entire.
But you want to update it because they may have their ad IDs, the SDK IDs for them. So the ad agencies are going to continue to pay them. So you have to update it to change your IDs for yours, for your SDK.
How that's working with CPA, yo.
You just plug them in. How you see it.
Oh, you do that?
That's right. Oh, so me personally, I think the apps in here are a little bit overpriced.
You know how to make
So
money.
actually, I get my ideas from there because I can see which ones have the most downloads, which ones.
One tooth monkey boy, super one tooth monkey boy.
Let me see that. This
Yeah.
2 whole downloads.
one? See how much they charge.
2 downloads, $5 grand. That's
Look
fine.
at that. So
Is that inaccurate?
You
That
open
is,
it up.
that is a true statement.
Thank you.
It's racist. Right.
I'm just saying, that's what it is. I'm just calling it what it is.
oh wait.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. I'm saying. Excuse me, while we go.
It's almost not working.
Yeah, we don't go much. Uh-oh. You ended up, you were talking.
What, you hear?
Yeah, I've heard it late the whole time.
They shouldn't be. Yeah, I guess
Oh, it's
it's
a-
One meeting, yeah.
So here's their revenue. This is crazy. So the last 6 months they only made $4. Last 3 months $1. Last 30 days $2.
That ain't right.
And they're asking for $4 grand. Yeah.
Why?
And some people actually pay that.
Why? Because it's a good ass graphic. That's why.
because the rating velocity is high. Whatever that is.
That's
It's
retarded.
high, so it's good.
Let's see.
That's retarded.
Check out our
It has no
rating
results. It's
velocity.
dumb.
What rating? What's rating?
Right there, the big blue.
And the bottom that blue thing.
It has a high rating
Yeah.
velocity.
Oh, man, look at that rating
Oh, it's like
velocity.
an Alexa ranking.
You can make them offer too. I mean, you don't have to.
Two downloads.
You don't have to.
Total revenue last 6 months all from $2.
You ever bought any?
I haven't bought anything. But I got.
Do you know how
I
to
get my
transfer-
ideas from there.
Do you know how the transfer process works? Like, let's say you buy it, you pay them, and they log into their account.
You have to have your source code already uploaded to Apptopia before you even go into selling it.
Oh.
They will
so-
not let
so
you
when-
sell
okay,
unless you have
gotcha,
your source code
gotcha,
there.
gotcha. And then you download it once they get their money,
Once the money's transferred, then you get the source code.
like an escrow account.
Exactly. Exactly.
So does it come off of the system to go back into?
No, it stays on iTunes. It just transfers the rights over to you.
Does
So
it-
what will
does-
happen is the app will pop up in your dashboard when you go on iTunes.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's nice.
So this is linked to iTunes somehow.
Yeah, it is linked to iTunes.
Oh,
They link
okay.
it to your iTunes account.
Okay, because what I was afraid of is that you buy this and they're still over there under their name, and then you have another copy.
No. When you go on the Apple iTunes,
That's what I would have done.
there's a transfer thing. In
Oh,
iTunes. So they have to
But can't
transfer.
they just throw back up again?
Exactly. They could.
they could. Oh, okay.
They could. But they can't use the same kind. They'd
So
have
like
to
they said, you-
they have to retheme it. So instead of
One, two, you have
1,
two.
2, yeah, exactly. They just have to change it up because Apple will reject that.
Oh. So they can just tweak the front end and leave the back end the same, just like everybody else.
They still would have to tweak the back end also. Yeah.
It's cool. It's back.
I mean, they still have the existing framework of the source. They have to change.
Oh, God.
So, and then Chupa Mobile.
Don't do that.
Chupa, yeah, Chupa. This is this here you can just you pretty much buy source code. Like I bought source code from here and made improvements to it. So they have different categories. You can buy for iOS, Android.
Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no.
That is awesome. I'm buying that.
But you know what? You know what's funny?
Did you do that?
I'm buying
Hurt
the
drink.
shit out of that.
Hurt drink style game.
But you know what's funny?
Yeah.
These are the kind of apps that get like crazy kinds of downloads.
Why would they not? That is amazing. That is racist and interactive. That's action shot. What if I can eat all these watermelons? I would do that.
So,
Oh my god.
so of course you can't use this. They'll probably you'd have to change the graphics around.
Like chicken. Holy shit! I want to own that. I want to own that so bad.
You put your head there.
Oh my god!
Zero per drink.
So let's
He's chasing me with the bag. We got power ups.
Fiery one.
those are in-app purchases.
How are they doing that?
Moving that ad, that's in-app purchase also.
Check how the game works.
Yeah, that's a video, right? A lot of them have videos.
And London, yeah.
Yeah, it is.
This is.
Oh shit! This is awesome.
Wait, he not playing UGK?
Thank you.
It's Perk drink.
What's that?
He playing UGK.
You got purple drink.
Perk drink. He playing something.
TV.
The 3-6 Mafia, something.
I agree. Yeah, this music has got to go.
Yo, it sounds like on damn friend.
So here's an example of that's crazy.
This is like this stupid fucking.
How many downloads? Did this have downloads?
What happened?
That's it was issue.
Game over. Thinking of what I'm doing.
Whoa, that's hard.
Oh, it's going faster.
Boy. Man,
Whoa! Oh man.
And if he loses damn ad, that's smart. Wow. That's funny. That's
Did you see how monetized the ads kept coming up? So that's kind of how.
It's only $99?
$99. Oh well, for the source code, yeah.
For the source code, yeah.
For the source
No,
code.
but you could change that to every, like you could have it like instead of a man station, you have a basketball hoop,
right?
And the bottom catching basketball.
Yep.
There's a on YouTube. Watermelon.
Yeah, maybe because of.
Oh my god! But
Watermelon.
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 So you can think about it like you can change this app over like different ways and upload it to the app. So,
I would do it all very controversial ways. Hope that one of them catches.
some people have done that. Some people sometimes controversy and
think
things that are like
both
real
of them.
edgy, that just push the limits. Sometimes those get the most attention.
So is it easy to like share it with your friends? Like if you like an app,
Sometimes in the apps they'll have like Facebook share, Twitter share.
Look at
that.
that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Let's not download it.
I have a lot of apps.
I have no
games.
apps on my
I
phone.
don't games. I don't games.
I don't even know how apps work.
There's a bunch of useful apps to do crap. I have to get to use that.
I know, man.
This is,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's it. So,
Yeah.
You create these courses?
no, I didn't create it. The courses that was
Oh,
done by
and
other
they're
people.
working it.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
watch
definitely
that.
Huh?
You ain't watch that.
Yeah, I just picked up some. I'm already in 2 of them already. So
So that's you. I mean, account, right?
yeah, this is my demo
So
account.
when you play it, does it come up in YouTube or they have a private?
No, they have their own video player. Oh, by the way, SEO tip. Udemy courses rank on Google. So if you
I've been wanting to put a course in there.
put the course on there, you almost every keyword the title, it'll. I tried it.
Even,
These titles. So if you have something.
even the ones you are advertising yourself.
Well, I don't have an Udemy course, but I'm just saying, if you wanted to develop a course, you can through Udemy.
Well, there's two ways for Kelly was going to do one. I went in there actually.
Okay.
But he had this thing, there's a requirement for them to help promote it for him or something. So we feel on the promote yourself type of version. I wanted to promote
If you let
yourself.
them promote,
Here a little bit cheaper, but you just have to really do due diligence to find out if they're getting that amount of downloads and if they're getting the monthly revenue that they're expecting. So
I think it's a good way to start though. Just get it out.
yeah, so that's it.
Awesome. All right.
I need that, but I got. I mean, I got to push stuff though, but I don't go push. So be pushing me along.